Welcome to the Midnight Lounge. You can come on down to the Midnight Lounge. Sit on down, have a drink. You're at the Midnight Lounge. Take off your pants at the Midnight Lounge. Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Midnight Lounge. Oh man, feels like forever since I've actually recorded, but it's only been like a week or two. Crazy. But we're back, we're here. I feel like doing a little chill vibe right now, a little chill intro, kind of keep the levels down just a bit, right? I'm recording this in midday, right? I've been busy doing a lot of different chores and just finished editing some videos and everything for the channel. And yeah, it's been a crazy weekend, and we're right back at it with the podcast. So welcome for episode 5. We're already on episode 5. That's crazy. Time's going by quick, guys. Time's going by quick. We're already in the month of June, right? It's crazy. Time flies by quicker than a blink of an eye. It's feels like just yesterday we're entering the year, and now we're already pretty much halfway done. Crazy. But anyways, today, episode number 5, we are going to be discussing the future of VR, right? Because virtual reality has become such a big thing over the years, and it's continuing to grow and develop, and it's something that I am very grateful to have the opportunity to actually experience it every day of my life, because I own an Oculus, right? And I've previously owned the PlayStation VR also. And I'll tell you what, the PlayStation VRs, they're not as advanced as the Oculus. I know that there's other ones. There's the HTC Vive. I mean, there's a lot more that are kind of more PC based type of VR headsets. But I like the standalone Quest. I think it's great. You don't have to have it plugged up to a high end PC, and you're pretty much a standalone. You don't have any wires that you're tripping over and everything. The only wire that you really have that it comes with is going to be the charger cord. And now the thing, I'm gonna go on a little rant here about the Meta Quest. Now it used to be the Oculus Quest. Oculus is no more. It is now the Meta Quest, which I don't know how to feel about that still. But anyways, going off topic. So I got both Generation 1 and the Generation 2 of the Quest, and there's some downfalls and benefits of each one, right? So starting off with the first one I believe has the better head strap, right? The Quest 2 has this head strap where it gets uncomfortable after a while. It gets really uncomfortable, and it's kind of confusing to set up if you are a first time headset user, to find that comfortability within your own head is a main a big problem that I find myself in with the Quest 2. The Quest 1 had an easier kind of a strap where, it had the little Velcro straps that you get to unbuckle and, unfasten, and then you get to tighten it up as you put it on. And so I believe the Quest 1 had the benefit there. Quest 2 graphics wise, inside of the headset, the little lenses, definitely a big advantage goes to the Quest 2. It was something that I really saw whenever I first got it. Playing on the Quest 1 and then going over to the Quest 2, you can definitely tell. Now another thing too that I did not like about the Quest 2 was the charger cord that it comes with. Now in the Quest 1, Now I get that, the Quest 1 was kind of like a premium price. And honestly, like I felt like it was worth the price because I mean the box that it came in, it felt so sleek, so nice. And it was like this black box. The presentation was on point. I mean, it was amazing. I remember putting it on for the first time, and I was just in awe with like how well it set up was, and the initial like tutorial phase of it all was just like mind blowing. Like it just captivates you and just enters a new world, and you're just like you feel like you're inside of this quest, and you're just no longer in reality. And that's something that I find amazing. um Now the charger cord that the Oculus Quest 1 or the Meta Quest 1 came with was the actual Oculus Link cable, which is like a 16-foot cable. That is what came with that. Now the Quest 2 came with like this little kind of like a phone charger, about 4 feet, maybe even 3 feet long cable, right? And I found that just really not good, right? You don't want to be stuck, especially if your headset's dying. You don't want to be stuck in a corner. You want to be able to actually play while it charges, right? You want to be able to at least move around and not be trapped in this little corner connected to the wall. You want to make sure that, you have enough room. And so I think that's where the biggest downfall, or the two biggest downfalls of the MetaQuest 2 came from, was from the head strap and from the actual cable itself. But other than that, the MetaQuest is definitely something that I would recommend anyone getting into if you want to start off with a VR headset. It is definitely an easy setup. All you need is a phone, and you download the Oculus app to get started, and of course the headset itself. And it was a really really easy setup. The tutorial, I can tell you, it is amazing to go through. You really feel like you're inside of this environment of just virtual reality, and it just makes you just kind of just forget about reality. And I use it as kind of like a therapy now. Anytime I feel stressed out, anytime that I just want to just relax, unwind, I tend to find peace in the Oculus. It takes me out of reality just for a time. And to be honest, there's been times where I've actually lost time inside of this headset. I would put it on at a specific time and think that I've only been in it for about an hour or two, and ends up being 5 6 hours past. So it's definitely one of those things where it really captivates you. And a lot of people have the biggest question that I hear from a lot of people is, will it give me headaches? Now, I found for myself that there are certain games, certain movements that do give me headaches. But another thing that I found out too is if you have a fan in your room, not like a ceiling fan, like an actual fan, I found that if you actually turn on your fan towards you while you're in your Oculus, in your headset, it actually helps with keeping the headaches away. I can't guarantee that it's going to actually stop headaches from ever happening. But what I can say is that it does help. I find myself to be less likely to have headaches whenever I have the fan on me, whenever I'm playing a certain type of game. There are games also um, that have different types of comfort levels. So if you are prone to having headaches and migraines while playing VR, there are settings to actually help with that. Now, another question too that I see a lot of people ask is if the VR headset itself is only for games. That is a big no. There is a lot more you can actually do inside of a MetaQuest. This doesn't go for every headset. All I know, I'm just speaking for the MetaQuest itself, since I do have this product. I know a lot about it, so I'm just speaking on that. Not so much on any other headsets, because I've never really used any other headsets besides the MetaQuest and the PES VR. The PlayStation VR is strictly for video games on the PlayStation. That was something that I found kind of like a big kind of like compromise. Is like, do I only want to play specific games on there? There was a way that you're able to actually play any game. It's not going to be in VR, but there are things that you can actually do to help you play in VR, but it's not going to be in VR. It's kind of like a screen in your headset. But it's very very blurry. You can't really see what's going on. So if you're trying to read like context to a game, you're trying to like do some spy work or something to see, it is definitely not going to be the way to go. But I didn't find this to be the case in the MetaQuest. It is not just built for games. Now, games is the primary source, is the primary thing, but it is not all that the MetaQuest can do. I mean, they got the internet browser on there. You can surf the web. They had just added the um, the ability to actually look at your Facebook and Instagram. There are different things that you can actually do now, as far as like work related things. They constantly add kind of like these virtual meeting apps on there where some companies that are like high end and high tech will actually have business meetings inside this MetaQuest, right? And I find that really really awesome. They're constantly just being innovated, and looking for ways to reach different types of people's needs, and I find that really really exciting in the world of VR. Like I said before, VR is expanding. It is barely the start of the VR age, and I find it really really fascinating. But there are those kind of like big scares that like like I I don't want to see VR kind of take over everything. Now, I don't know if you guys ever heard of the metaverse that the Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg is trying to develop, where you're able to actually go inside this metaverse and actually kind of live in this metaverse and make money using it. I find that to be a really cool concept, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, is that a way to take you out of reality and not ever like take off your headset, right? It's gonna like kind of keep you stuck in like this virtual reality type realm. And I just find it really fascinating, but also a very very like kind of scary moment. It's one of those things where like it's a very exciting thing. I see where people get afraid of the generation of VR. But I got to tell you, right now, as it's developing, it is very, very crazy to witness it. There's actually an app that I use quite a lot, and it's kind of like a virtual movie theater. Like if you go to the movies, you want to, see a specific movie, you can actually go on this app and, you can actually host your own little private movie events with your friends. You can watch movies by yourself. You can go to like these public rooms where people are hosting and view things with random people, right? And that's something that I use a lot, like a lot. The biggest thing on there is I like whenever there's major sporting events like UFC fights, wrestling pay-per-views. The NBA Finals right now is going on, and I know a lot of people are streaming that, and it's really amazing to actually watch all this from like a movie, like a virtual movie theater screen. Like you're in this movie theater, there's the big screen in front of you, and that's the name of the app, by the way, Big Screen VR. And you're able to like watch movies, watch TV shows, sporting events, like in a movie theater, right? You don't have to go out and waste money renting out a whole private movie theater. you can do that from the comfort of your home inside of this headset, and I find that really really awesome. There's movies on there, even in 3D, that you can actually rent out from big screen themselves and watch them, which I find really really cool. Right now there isn't a really really big selection of movies, so like you're not going to be able to really see movies from like in theaters right now, but there are some movies that you can actually get on there and rent out and watch them, and it's really amazing. But as I was saying before, is myself, I like to use the headset as a way of me escaping reality, kind of winding down, kind of taking off the edge. And one thing that I really do a lot is I do a lot of fishing on there, right? I have this one fishing game. It's called Real Fishing VR, something like that, right? And it takes like these actual places, like these actual lakes, rivers, whatever the case might be. It's kind of like a Google Maps. Like it takes like an image and it puts it in the game, so it feels like you're actually there. Like it's a real life image. It's not like an animated thing. Um, and you can fish, and you can either keep the fish and have your own little personal aquarium at your like safe house thing, or you can let them go and gain experience. And it's something that I like to do. It also has a built-in little browser window that you can use, so you can actually go on YouTube, watch YouTube videos, or play music, whatever the case might be. It has a built-in like MP3 player, so if you actually have songs put onto your headset, you can actually listen to those songs in the application itself while you're fishing. And so, what I tend to do is while I'm fishing, I'll put on some music and I'll just fish while listening to my favorite songs, and kind of just put on like a chill lo-fi mix on YouTube, and just relax and fish. I mean, just being in a quiet room and having this headset on, you're listening to this really chill music while you're fishing. It is really relaxing, at least for me. Because I honestly I enjoy fishing, but at the same time I don't like fishing because it requires me like being out in the sun where it's hot, and it's more pleasing to actually be doing it in the headset, and not really get so dirty being out in the sun all day, getting a sunburn, things like that. I'm actually in the comfort of my own, you know, room, office area, bedroom, living room, wherever I'm playing, and fishing at the same time. And it's just a really, really fun time for me to actually just escape reality. And it kind of makes you not want to take off the headset. Like you kind of just want to be stuck in there. At least in my case, that's the way I feel about it. Um, but yeah, it's crazy that like not just games you can do on there. There's so much. Like I said, there's the internet browser. There's the apps on there. They're continuing to add more and more different types of apps on there to actually kind of compete with like a cell phone. It's the way I see it, it's going to become like this main source where everyone can go and just connect and stay in the loop. One thing that they added was you can actually get your phone and connect it to the headset and get your notifications on your headset. So let's say someone's text messaged you, someone's calling you, you actually get an alert notification inside of the headset. So you don't have to actually take off your headset to see what the message is, to see who's calling. You can actually see it from inside the headset. And then if you want to respond to it, take the phone call, then of course you would take off your headset and respond. um, but I think that's a really, really cool feature. It's both for Android and for iPhone. So whatever phone you have, you can use it either way, for both ways. It is really, really awesome. Um, you just got to make sure that if you want just your phone calls and text messages to go through, you select that. Because if you do all your apps, like for me, I have it set to all my apps, which is kind of a big mistake for me on my part because I get so much notifications every single, day that when I'm in my headset, it kind of gets annoying. Like every 10 seconds, 15 seconds, I'm getting a new alert from like an email, an application notification, like something's going on, right? And so it kind of gets annoying. And so I think I might change it back to where I'm just getting the phone calls and the text messages so that way it just calms down on the notification part. But yeah, there's fitness apps on there that'll actually help you get in shape. I've used them before. They really do work. You build up a nice sweat. And that's something that you kind of want to invest in too, is making sure that you're getting like this sweat proof kind of like head strap and face guard. I know that with the Oculus Quest 2, the Meta Quest 2, um, it actually comes with like the silicone face mask that you can put on to the actual headset itself. But the head straps are not really like a sweat proof, so you would kind of want to invest in something that's sweat proof for the straps. And if you want like a more comfortable kind of face cover mask thing that you put on it, you can definitely do that. The battery life is really good. I enjoy it. I feel like you'll get a lot of battery life um, compared to the first one, and it just depends on what game that you're playing and how much you're using of that. Depends on the battery usage. It can vary from 2-3 hours, sometimes even just 1.5, just depending on how high volume the app that you're using. And what's cool is, like a lot of people actually worry about overcharging your headset or kind of like destroying the battery as you charge it. But with the Meta Quest, it's perfectly safe, and that's from the the actual corporate office too. It was confirmed that it is safe to actually play and charge your headset at the same time, and so you're not going to be ruining your battery by having it plugged in. Majority of the time, if I'm using my headset and I'm using it seated, like I'm sitting down while using it, so I'm not like really like moving around too much. I'm kind of just in a one spot. I make sure that it's plugged in because there's nothing worse than sitting there and you're enjoying something, and then you get that low battery notification and you're like, "Oh, okay," and then you're like, I don't want to take the headset off because I don't want to like disturb what I'm doing. So you're kind of just like reaching around. At least this is from my experience. I'm like reaching around with my headset on, trying to like find the cord, and so it's a big struggle, big process. I feel like if I was to take off the headset, it would be so much easier. But it's such a pain to put it back on, when I have it like at a comfortable, setting. And so it takes a while to kind of like find that readjustment when you put it back on. And yeah, so I tend to just leave mine plugged in, and I mean I've never had a problem with my battery. It still works perfect, and yeah, it's crazy. VR is just getting real insane. I can only imagine what it's going to be like in the next 5 years. I know that PlayStation is actually working on the PlayStation VR 2. And that's supposed to be coming out pretty soon for the PS5, and that's supposed to have like really, really advanced graphics on there. And the from the prototypes that I've seen pictures of it, it looks pretty futuristic. I know that the Oculus brand, the Meta brand, is actually in development of the Quest 3, and I'm curious to see what that's going to be about. I'm not going to upgrade, even though I would want to. I'm not going to, just because I feel like everything that you can possibly want in VR as of right now is in the second version. Um, and it's backwards compatibility. So I mean, if you have both the Quest 2 and Quest 1, you can actually go back and forth and play between the two. Um, so I mean, there's no problem there. Whatever you can do on the one, you can do on the two. Whatever you can do on the two, you can do on the one. So it's not like something where you can only do a certain thing on a certain one, and vice versa. It's you can do anything that you want on either one, and so I really think that's awesome. Some of the features on the two might not be on the one. Like, you might have to wait a little bit longer for the developers to actually put it on to the version one of it, but eventually you would be getting it. As far as I know, you still get updates for it. I don't think they're going to plan on stopping the updates anytime soon. But who knows what MetaQuest is going to do in the future once the 3 comes out. And I don't know. I'm excited about it. The future of VR is very strong. I can only imagine. I'm pretty sure headsets are going to get lighter. They're going to get thinner. The graphics wise, like the lenses inside of it is only going to get more elusive and more clear throughout generations to come, and the games are only going to get crazier and more advanced, and just like taking you to a whole nother level of virtual reality. I mean, there's this game I play, it's called Population One. I actually posted a video on my YouTube channel, so go ahead and go check that out. As the time you're hearing this right now, it is on my YouTube, so go ahead and check that out. But it is basically a game where it's a battle royale, kind of like Fortnite, kind of like Call of Duty Warzone. And if they can do a game like that now, imagine how well games are going to be 5, 10, 15 years from now. I mean, those games are going to look like how Call of Duty Warzone looks right now. Like, I guarantee it. It's going to be like you're actually in war. I know that there's a lot of different third party companies that are making things that go along with VR. I know they have like this little vest thing that you can actually wear, and there's like these gloves, and you can actually feel things, and like if you're wearing the vest, people can touch you and you can feel where they're touching you. Like, it's really crazy to see all these different technology, like, things link up. And I know that there's also like this little kind of like a little pod where you get to stand in, and the floor like kind of moves, kind of like a treadmill kind of thing, or it's like a 360 treadmill where you get to like run in place, and so you're not like stuck in like one little area. You can actually run inside the game, like if you're running in real life. Like, it's amazing um to see all that, those interventions or inventions, I should say, come for the VR. I mean, it's only going to get more advanced, and I can't wait to see what it's going to become in the next 10, 15, 20 plus years. I mean, it's going to grow. Get ready for VR to kind of take over the way that we do things normally, because I guarantee it's going to really come and play in the next couple years. With even like crypto mining, I'm pretty sure like the MetaQuest, the metaverse that I was talking about, they're probably gonna have something like that where you can actually work inside of this metaverse and work for cryptocurrencies and earn money that way. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be a big thing. And the freedom that developers have to create games, and even have their games out there without them actually being on the actual store themselves. There's a thing called a side quest that you can actually developers can post their games onto, and actually have their games posted on there, and people can go on that and download those to their headset, which is what I do a lot. There's actually some really good applications on there that are not actually on the Oculus store, and it kind of like is sad to see, but there are those apps. There's some good apps and there's some bad apps. I've downloaded some apps and I'm like, what is this trash? It's kind of like stick figure type stuff, and I'm like, what is this? And then other games are like, why isn't this already on the store? And so it's pretty crazy, the freedom that developers have, the things that they come out with. It's really crazy. The hand tracking on there, where instead of a remote, you can use your hands to interact with the game. It's crazy. Like I hope more games will actually be more hand tracking, so that way you don't have to use controllers, right? So that takes away the controllers, and future VR headsets don't have to include controllers. You can buy. The way I see it is, if they were to do more hand tracking games, they take out the need to put um, the controllers included with the console, the headset, right? And so you're just selling the headset, which is going to cut costs. You're only selling the headset, the cable for it, the charger, the manual, and the box. So that's going to cut costs. That's going to eliminate the need for controllers for games. People can actually play using their hands, control their stuff using their hands. But if people wanted to buy controllers, they have the option to, right? So that would be really crazy. And then, I feel like if they were to actually do that, they can focus more on the headset than the actual controllers themselves. And I don't know. I don't know how where I'm going with this, how I want to explain it, but I hope you guys kind of understood that, on what I was trying to say, because I kind of confused myself the more I went on with that. But yeah, the I know that this is just me personally talking about the MetaQuest, and it's just because I'm so familiarized with it. I can't speak for other headsets. I know other headsets. People have their own opinions and their own feelings about these different headsets, and saying that they're more advanced and they're better and this and that. And to be frank, I mean, some are better than the MetaQuest. But for me, I like a standalone headset. I don't want to be contained to being hooked up to a computer. I want to be able to take my headset anywhere that I want to go and use it whenever I want, not have to be hooked up and feel like I'm, this robot hooked up to wires. Um, so I don't know. This is just my opinion. If you guys ever have the opportunity to actually experience VR, I guarantee it's going to change your life, because some of the things that you can do on there, you're gonna be like, wow, like this is crazy, crazy. And yeah, I know some people right now are listening to this and they're like, this guy just keeps rubbing it in my face saying that he has a VR and I don't have one. He's just I look, I hear you. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know who I'm talking about, okay? Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not trying to rub it in. I know you think that I hear you. Okay, calm down. I hear you, but I'm not trying to rub it in, okay? I'm just trying to put my thoughts and feelings on VR, trying to just encourage those that have the ability to actually experience it and not be afraid, and don't take what other really people say about it for your own judgment, right? If you want to buy it or you want to go experience it, I mean, there's actually, I know around me there is, I don't know about anywhere else, but there's actually like these little like stores. They're not necessarily like stores, but they're like these little places that you can go and they have like these VR headsets that you can actually rent out for like an hour or two, and you can play whatever VR games that you want to for that hour or two that you rent out. And so I really think that's amazing. Like, I know that some places in the mall have it. There's some standalone stores that actually do it. So if you ever want to actually experience VR without having to go out and spend a couple hundred on a headset itself, and then you end up not liking it, go out, find one of these stores and try it out. And if you really enjoy it and you really see yourself playing and using it for your own personal enjoyment, go ahead and get one. I remember when they were first announced, and I was like, man, I want to get one so bad. And for the longest time, like, I was looking for kind of like used ones that people were selling because they didn't want it no more, or like they had no time for it. And I found some good deals, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy it brand new. I'm not gonna want anyone else's face sweat and stuff on my stuff. So ended up getting a brand new one and haven't looked back since, because I tend to use mine almost daily. It is something that I find myself just being trapped into, and I love every second of it. It's truly amazing. And again, I'm not trying to rub it in. I'm going to stop talking now before I get those of you angry at me for rambling on about this amazing VR and you don't have one. I'm very sorry, but VR, it's definitely going to be the new way to do things. But anyways, that is the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I look forward to what's next on the Midnight Lounge. I know the last episode, it was a fun time. Really fun, really awesome. Again, Matt and Trevor, thank you for coming on last show with me and doing it. It was a lot of fun, and I hope we can do it again in the future, and maybe we'll do a part 2. I mean, if you guys liked the conspiracy theory episode as much as I loved recording it, let me know that you guys want to do or want to hear a part 2, because I really we could have went on. I mean, we were talking after we recorded, and I mean, we could have gone on and on and on, but we didn't want to like bore you guys with a 3, 4, 5 hour episode, so we kind of constrain ourselves with time and everything, so that way it's not too long of an episode. But if you guys really want to hear more, please let me know. And remember, the store is still available. If you guys want to support me and the show, go ahead and get you some merch, stickers, shirt, hoodie, water bottles, mugs, whatever the case might be. Go ahead and go on there. For all your podcast needs, we got our website up also, so that way it is your one-stop go for all your Midnight Lounge podcast needs. You can listen to it on there. You can find my podcast on different things such as Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else that my podcast is available. All those links are right there, and you get to stay up to date with episodes. And yeah, guys, it's been a joy recording this for you guys today. And I look forward to hearing from you guys soon, and talking with you guys in the next one. Until then, stay safe. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.